Selfie zoom. Zoomed in. Stop recording video. Button. Swipe up or down to select a custom action. Then double tap. Selfie zoom. Zoomed in. Centered. Selfie zoom. Zoomed in. Button. Double tap to zoom out. Speech off.
Hi guys, I hope your Tuesday was absolutely amazing. I'm going to step back a little bit just so I can stay in view or what have you. I'm doing a quick video. This is going to be a kitchen table talk. So if you've watched my kitchen table talk videos, then you know these are some topics that will step on some toes. They're pretty opposite of my usual videos. And so if you are not interested in finding out if you are a Midas Well wife or what is a Midas Well wife, then you probably want to click out of this video now, because that is the topic tonight. I have had several conversations, hundreds if not thousands of conversations with women who are trying to figure out what is going on with their relationship. Why is it so hard to make a connection, establish a connection, keep a connection with their male counterpart? Why is it so difficult to get married? Why is marriage so difficult? I mean, I have had so many conversations, right? Hold on, guys. To the point, let me make sure I'm still in sync with you guys.
Speech on. Face near left. Stop. Near left edge. Selfie zoom. Zoomed in. Button. Double tap to zoom out. Face near left edge. Centered.
Okay.
Face centered. Speech off.
To the point that I was like, I have to make this video because I really want people to really be able to look at themselves in the face and realize what their relationship truly is. Not what they hoped it is or what it was or what they were expecting it to change into, or that they were going to make it into something that it has never been. What a Midas Well wife is a person who has been married or finally got married after years and years of a relationship, and it just makes sense, right? So you all have been together for years. It can even be a short-term relationship, and you just make sense for this person to marry you because out of everything they have going on, out of the relationship that they've been in, for the career goals they have, for the life plan they have, and the options that have presented themselves, you are the best decision to make. Now, it can work in your favor if you understand that. But if you are thinking that this person has married you because they are so in love with you, because you are their soulmate, because they couldn't think of themselves with another person in the world, this is where the problem comes into play. Because a person that just marries you because you're a good fit or it makes sense is not willing to do things for you that they would be willing to do for a person that they truly had a connection, chemistry, this deeper level of attraction that they do not have for you. It's just like this. It's lunchtime, you're really hungry, but you only have 30 minutes to get a meal, eat it, get back, and be back working for your next meeting. Yes, you really would love to sit down and have, that, I don't know, steak, mashed potato, or shrimp fettuccine. I don't know what you guys like, but you'd really love to have a meal. But the truth of it is, it's probably better for you to go downstairs to the store that's in the building where you work and grab the peanut butter and jelly sandwich because it's probably there because nobody else goes for that. It's quick, it's by the door. You can get to the cash register in about 1 minute, get back to your desk, eat it at your desk, throw it away in the trash can, and keep going with your day and plan for a great dinner, right? Because you can stay on track, get off work on time, appease your coworkers and boss, right? But did that lunch provide the nourishment that you desired and needed to power through your day, to give your best, to produce the results over long term that you really desired? No. Now, you go into that meal expecting this savory, delicious, nourishing meal, you will be greatly disappointed, disgusted, and devastated, have a bad attitude, and be trying to absorb positivity, right? You be trying to change up your energy flow and saying all these affirmations to try to redirect that negativity, right? If you had the wrong idea about the meal you were getting ready to devour. But since you knew, I'm going to go down here and get this peanut butter and jelly sandwich, it's going to fill me up enough, get me by until I can get to my dinner. That's what a might as well wife is. You are just enough to get by. Now, I don't want people to be upset. I don't want you to feel like I'm being mean, whatever. That's not what this conversation is about. This conversation is to help you connect with your real life and stop bumping your head upside the wall, because this is where cheating is coming from. Everybody's living these adulterous lives, right? They got these fake profiles with other women, other men, everything is going on because one person has an understanding of what they've entered into and the other person has a totally different understanding of what they've entered to. Or you have two people that are seeking to change the other person, right? For one, because you guys are not equally yoked, and for another, because both of you all are disillusioned. You're living it, this false reality in your minds. Now, excuse me. One thing I'd like to say is 9 times out of 10, you shouldn't marry the person that you're marrying. Like in your gut, in your heart of hearts, this is not the one. But yet and still, because there's not a better candidate available, or because of whatever other goal you have that's pressing, you will go on and do it because it'll work for now. Right? Then what ends up happening is you have this extremely volatile relationship because you have to spend all this time with someone you truly are not enamored by. Period. It's like you went to the store, you had that peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and every day when you come to work, somebody's stopping you at the store like, hey, we got that peanut butter and jelly that you got yesterday. Hey, we got that peanut butter and jelly that you had got on Monday. Now it's Wednesday. Now it's Thursday. Here you come. Hey, we got that peanut butter and jelly. You're like, I don't even like peanut butter and jelly that much. You finally will have that breakdown and say, actually, I'm allergic to peanut butter. I just only ate that sandwich that one day because I needed to get by. Please, get out my face. I don't want the peanut butter and jelly. I'm not the peanut butter and jelly type. I actually sit down at Maggiano's for lunch and have the chopped salad with extra avocado. Keep the blue cheese and the prosciutto, please. I'm actually the lemon pepper and red snapper. Herbs, please put the fresh herbs and olive oil. Thank you. Well done. Let me have the garlic mashed potatoes and the asparagus. Yes, that's my lunch. I'm actually that person, but because I had a time crunch and I needed to satisfy several things, then I had to have that peanut butter and jelly. But please, I don't want to see you out here in this hallway meeting me anymore to tell me about the peanut butter and jelly. I'm aware. I appreciate you. Thank you. What everyone has to do immediately is come to terms with what is in their heart. What do I always say? Know thyself. Do the work of getting to know yourself. your needs, your wants, your desires, what is right for you. It's in your heart because that's who you are. It's nothing to be changed. Do not do the logical thing of changing yourself and making yourself be confused and conflicted about what you want. Well, maybe I need to change. Maybe I'm not being. No, it's in your heart. That's who you are. Accept yourself. Love yourself. Be yourself. Be honest. Then move forward in your truth. Now, there's several videos that I've made when I talk about why it is for women shooting your shot will never work. It never works out for you. It's a false reality. And that's a huge way how you will become a might as well wife. Now, I'm going to tell you guys like 3 different stories, 3 different scenarios, okay? And they all end up in the same situation, regardless of the approach, right? Okay, so I know a lady, she met her husband at church, right? Years ago, like fresh out of high school. Met her husband at church, right? She actually approached him. He did not approach her. They began dating. Everything took off really fast for the two of them. And maybe within a year, they were married. Let's say no longer than, by the 2nd year, they were definitely married, right? Perfect. Now, on the outside looking in, it looked like everything was going great until it got to the point of having children. So this is a provider, alpha male, super intelligent guy. He's making money, at the peak of his success, finding himself in career and entrepreneurship. Everything is looking great for the two of these people. But they are clashing quite a bit. Well, for one, there's some personal things that's going on within both of these two people that they do not realize is causing a huge impact on their ability to become one. Okay, so for the gentleman in the relationship, he is very well versed in dating outside of his race. That is a community that he grew up in. He's very comfortable with that. And so this is the first real adult relationship that he's ever had with someone in his same race, culture. That's a big one right there. And the motivation behind exploring a relationship with a woman in his own race was behind trauma in a previous relationship with the women that he prefers. Okay? All right. Okay? Then with the woman in the relationship, there's an issue because there's been sexual trauma and violation and abandonment by the men in the family there. So there's this need or fixation on needing this alpha provider male to be in the household, and there's this distrust off top. I don't trust you, and you'll only touch me in certain ways, and you're going to be a provider or we're not going to be together. So there's a whole bunch of disciplinary style interactions and communication from the female in this relationship, which is not going to work with an alpha male at all, right? But it's challenging, right? It's intriguing and it's challenging, and it's keeping these two together for some reason. Now, for some reason, it's because it works. It meets needs, right? We want a family. We want this to work. This should work. You have a great career. You have a great career. On paper, we look good together. Let's keep this going. We're making a baby now. We've got to keep this going now because we want a 2-parent household, and I don't want to pay child support, and I don't want to be a single mom. I don't want to give up my lifestyle. All these other things are starting to come into play, right? Right. So years and years are going on, and their family is continuing to grow, and there's still a huge problem in the center of their relationship. There's a huge problem brewing. So there's cheating going on, right? There's this distrust that was always there in the side of the female. And there's this huge need that's not being met by this male that's in the relationship because he's accustomed to certain interactions that he's not receiving, that he's desiring, right? So all of this is going on, all this going on, all this going on, all this going on. Because the two people that are in the relationship, one person is thinking, I might as well, whereas the other person is all in because she wants a provider, protecting alpha male, right? For her children, for her future. That's how it has to be, which there's nothing wrong with that. But the demand of it is like, enjoy it, you've got it, right? But she can never get to that point of realization that she has it. So let's enjoy it. I'm blessed, I have it. Let me enjoy it. Let me get to know him. Let me fulfill him. He's fulfilling me. That point, it never made it. It never made it to that point. Right? So years go by now, is extremely volatile relationship and marriage, right? Breaking up, getting back together, breaking up, getting back together, breaking up, all these outside soul ties have been created. Everything's a mess, right? To the point where the husband finally comes out and says, you know, all these years, I was never in love with you. I am just now falling in love with you. After all these years, the wife is devastated, crushed. She had no idea that she was a might as well wife. But now he's totally into her and she's crushed. And now she wants absolutely nothing more than to be out of the relationship. And it's 20 plus years later. Something that would never have occurred had she never approached him at church. This is why I say shooting your shot as a female will never, ever work. It's a trick of the devil. It does not work like that. Men are the hunters, be the prey. If he wants you, just keep showing up looking good and smelling good and keep smiling and keep it moving. It's just like the jewelry in the cases at the store. Do the gems ever fail to shine? You got your eye on that gorgeous chocolate diamond 18 karat gold ring. Every time you walk past it, it's just shining and it's beautiful. That's the first time you saw it, sitting right there on the second row in the last casing on the right. As long as nobody else wants it more than you and gets the money up faster than you, it's right there looking as glorious as it wants to look, looking more and more tantalizing. You daydream about it. You imagine it on your finger, how good it's going to look with the other rings and what bracelet you're going to and what watch you're going to and how you're going to style it and accessorize it, what perfume, how you're going to wear your hair. I mean, come on. You're doing all of that. Trust and believe. This man know how to come to you. Know how to come for you. He is doing the same thing. You are that precious gemstone. So you keep showing up beautiful, glorious, blessed, smelling good, looking like you taste good, walk like you know it's good, with confidence and boldness so that the right man can come for you. And when he does, embrace him. Embrace the man that wants you, that comes for you. Not the one you thought. Forget the one you thought was the one, or the one you know. If he's desiring you, let him come for you. In his time, when he comes to the full realization, I have got to have this woman. I can't get her off my mind. See, that man, he never got to that point of realization. It took him 15 plus years to finally come to that realization. But had they left it at point A and just smell good and say hey and keep it walking, right? Next Sunday when you come looking delicious. You smile, you hold a glare. 2 seconds, and you sit down and you praise God. You all will cross paths, see each other. He'll ask you a question or two, have lunch, something, right? I remember I went to church. My daughter had to been, I'm not even going to tell you how old she had to been. I'm not going to tell you guys how old long ago this was. But regardless, I remember I went to church and I had on this purple dress. And it was like a lilac purple. It had the little thin spaghetti straps that just go like from your back to your collarbone here. So all of this was out, all my shoulders, all my arms were out. And then it had this gorgeous scarf. It was a sheer lilac color scarf, and I just, wrapped it around once and let one side fall forward and one side fall to the side. And the dress went down like right at the ankle, but it contoured with your body, so it showed off the silhouette of your body and everything. And what happened? And so I'm just at church, I had my hair down and I had on my black heels with the dress, and I had my little baby with me and everything like that. And I'm just at church, enjoying church and singing and just enjoying, just enjoying. And so when church was over, I just remember I was leaving. I had my little girl with me, and I heard, and you know how you leave church kind of in a crowd, everybody's going to their cars. This is back when I'm driving. So everybody's going to their cars and walking to the parking lot and everything. And this gentleman is like breaking through the crowd behind me. Like I can hear, but it doesn't, I'm just like, okay, somebody's hungry. You know what I mean? They just want to hurry to get to their car and get out of here before this traffic starts. This man comes to me, excuse me, and it was Mother's Day, actually. And he comes up to me, excuse me, and I said, yes. And I believe his name was Anthony. Anthony, if you're watching this, God bless you. And anyway, he came to me and he's like, excuse me. He's like, I would love to spend time with you today. My mother has passed on, and I would love to spend this Mother's Day with you and your little baby girl. Would you mind to share Mother's Day with me? And I was like, oh, that is so sweet, right? I'm like, okay, sure. I had really no plans, other than to go to church. So I did. I went on with him, and later on that afternoon, and we went and had lunch. And I want to say we went somewhere really simple, like Golden Corral or something like that. And I just remember he was just like telling me about his life and this and that. And he was just like laying it out. Like, I run my own business. I'm in heating and air conditioning. I'm an engineer and this and that. And I'm divorced. I have 2 children. He was just bringing it. And I was just sitting there like, wow. And I had this total energy like, that's great. I was absolutely there just to spend time with him that day. In my mind, that's all we were doing. I had, and that was it. And so he went on, and then he was like, can I please take you out? And giving me like a full schedule. I'm like, can we go out this day? Can we do that? And I just remember he was so serious. He was so serious about pursuing me. Now, I will tell you, I let that opportunity go. I did. And he was such a great catch. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And that is what you want. Had I known better then, I would have made better decisions, but I didn't know better. And I was newly divorced. And what is my rule? I do not encourage the newly divorced to jump into the next relationship. I don't. I really encourage you to spend about 2 years healing, seeking therapy, whether it's spiritual or traditional, connecting with your true feelings about what's just happened. Whether you're hurt, devastated, happy, I don't care. Just connect with your truth. Come back to yourself, a place of peace, and get to that place where you desire love, companionship genuinely. Not because it's a good decision, not because you have bills, not because you have a lifestyle, not because you have personal needs, none of that type of stuff like that. But when you come back to that genuine place and space within yourself that you say, no, I'm ready, I want to love and be loved. When you get there, then you're ready to embrace, your love and move forward. So I wasn't there at all. And so I allowed myself way too much time. And I'm going to leave that there. But I just want to bring that story up to show you the difference between how things can go when you allow the man to hunt you and to show you where his mind is at, his heart is at, and be and really be pursued, right? Versus you taking that opportunity and saying, oh, let me and I told you guys a story about another young lady in the video, my dating tips for women under 30 and strategies for women over 30. So definitely check that video out. But time is something that you can never get back. It can bless you. It can really bless you the way that you spend your time. Now, wasting time is where the curse is. It lies right there. Wasting your time, your precious life energy, that's where, it's a problem. So definitely, guys, be mindful of the relationships that you're in, and do not be afraid to change them right away. Right away. If it's not serving you and benefiting you, end it. If you've created all these children with a person who has no intentions of being in a marriage with you, and that's obvious. If you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 children and you all are not married, you live in different households, you do not even have you don't have a promise ring, you don't have an engagement ring, you don't have anything, no date, no idea, you have nothing but an ongoing sexual situation thing. Let it go, because the faster you cut that off is the faster you can connect with the right person that belongs with you. And the only way you're going to know you're with the right person is because you've done the work to get to know yourself, accept yourself, and then share your truth. So when you're meeting gentlemen, you automatically know if your lifestyle fits within a $50,000 budget and this gentleman makes $25,000 a year. You already know, boom, that's not going to work. That's not going to come together. If you know that you're Muslim and this gentleman is Jehovah's Witness, boom, you automatically know that's not going to work. If you know you're spiritual and this person's atheist, boom, you already know that's not going to work. If you know that you like living in multicultural neighborhoods and this person is from the hood, of the hood, and can't see their way out of the hood, boom, that's not going to work. There's so many things that are obvious red flags. If you know you're extremely affectionate, your number one love language is communication, quality time, okay? And this person works around the clock every single day, and they never know when they're going to have time to see you, let alone have a quality conversation with you. Boom, you automatically know that is not a match. There's no way to establish love with someone that doesn't meet your needs, your wants, or your desires. Get real. Stop selling yourself nightmares and then trying to be upset that you've wasted, I don't care, 5 months, 5 days, you spent all this time in this crazy, hellacious situation, and then both of you all walk away hurt angry, frustrated, disgusted, and disappointed because one person got with you on a might as well tip because they felt like at least y'all could come up together. That's the truth. This person's like, might as well, we could at least get our money up, move forward in our careers, or we could at least help one another out, have somebody to share bills with while I figure out my next move. And then you're over here thinking you got the love of your life, and they're up here like, get real, let's pay these bills. I'm describing like 85% of people's relationships right now. One person is, oh, this is the love of my life. We got this family. Oh, I'm so happy. They want to hug and kiss you and plan y'all's staycation for Valentine's and your anniversary. They want to renew wedding vows. They want to do all this stuff. You're like, get real. That costs money. I don't want to do none of that stuff with you. Let's go to work. No, why would we spend all this money? And then you get pregnant, and then they're like, oh, God, now you have to stay home, and I got to pay these. No, don't get pregnant no more. Or they put you on a budget. How about this? Here's a real good view of how much of a might as well wife or might as well husband you are. You get pregnant, and you have a lifestyle that you were living before you got with the person. You've been living it while you've been with the person. As now you're pregnant, you're not able to get to work, do all these things like you were, right? And your lifestyle may run you a few $100s a week. You got, getting your hair cut, trimmed, whatever style, washed, deep conditioned. You're getting your eyebrows done, nails done. You're used to just different self-care regimen that you have, right? Then you go back and forth. You may have ate out a couple of times, 3 times a week. Go out with your girlfriends once, twice a week. Go see your mom, hang out with your mom. You may give your mom, your dad some money a couple of times. You had a life and a lifestyle. You spent your money how you saw necessary and fit, right? Now, boom, you're pregnant and this person put you on an $80 a week allowance like a child. That shows you what they think about you. Now, you on the other hand, if something happened where they can't work, you hold them down. No question. You honor them because you love them. You have a deep connection with them. Your mind says, oh, this is my man, this is my provider, this is my girl, whatever, whoever's that in that capacity in the relationship, right? So your heart and mind and soul says, let me hold them down, babe. Here, you need $400. You giving them $400, $500. You paying car notes, truck notes. You're anticipating all their needs, wants, desires, holding them down, uplifting them, sending them affirmations throughout the day, sending them links and hookups. Babe, guess what? I ran into Bobby today on my break. Bobby said they got an executive position. I slid him your resume. Look out for a call from Tim. They supposed to hook it up. You doing all of that. In the meanwhile, when the role is reversed and you're carrying their life, their seed, they put you on an $80 a week budget. And when you ask for more, because you need more, because your gas tank alone is $40 every time you fill it up, and you still got to pick up the other children that you already have to and from school and wherever daycare and wherever else they have to go, right? So you used to filling your car up maybe twice a week. So your $80 is for. So you say, babe, I need some more money. Oh, why? You have to go through a full evaluation like a child. Well, what happened to the $80? Where have you been? You don't work. You're not going to work. Insane. But these are types of interactions that happen when you are in a relationship with someone and they settled for you because you were the best pick at the time. You were the best pick for their goals, for their situation. Now, I was a might as well wife. Let me throw that out there. After years and years of never understanding my ex-husband, having the most terrible interactions with my ex-husband there is to have, just crying out, seeking to God, reading all these books, watching all these programs. I have spent countless hours studying and studying and studying and studying on what is the problem, what is the disconnect, what is this. For my ex-husband to finally come out his mouth and tell me that he did not marry me because he was in love with me. He picked me because it suited his needs. His goals at the time for what he was trying to accomplish required a wife. So he had a list of women that he knew, and I was at the top of the list. And what was so interesting was the entire time we were married, I will always say, I don't feel like you love me. You don't treat me like a man who is in love with me. You treat me like something you own, like property. Like you just sit me on the shelf and you pick me up as needed and then and you don't even dust me off. You just pick me up whenever and forget about me any other time. And it would be a huge argument. But after years and years and several failed marriages with my ex-husband, right? He finally came out and told me about 3 years ago how he had married me out of convenience and for him to meet his goals at the time. He needed a wife in order to be successful and to meet the goals that he had at the time. Woo! I was like, wow. But see, God told me not to marry him. And that's something that you have to do as well. You have to find out, where did you go wrong in your life's decisions? Because just as much as he's wrong is as much as I'm wrong, because God told me not to marry this man. I didn't know why, but God told me no. And since I was friends with him first, I thought it will be okay. And since I was going through a medical emergency, because that was at the beginning of my visual impairment, and I couldn't go to school anymore, I thought, well, maybe this is supposed to be what I'm supposed to do now, because I'm not going to school anymore. So the next phase in my life plan was marriage. Wrong, and wrong. See, I was never in love with my ex-husband. Never. I always had a brotherly, sisterly love. We always had this great friendship and bond. But I was never in love with him. And our marriage was disastrous because I could never reach that deeper love and connection because we were not equally yoked. We were never meant to be together in that capacity. And we vowed to a lie, both of us, vowed to God to things we could never, ever provide each other because we were not equally yoked. We were not a match. We were both each other's might as well spouses. That's the real. So then after years of me repairing, healing, going back to school, connecting with my truth, accepting my faults in the situation, look at myself in the eye, say, you did that, that's that. Forgive yourself, move on. You're still a great person. You still deserve love. God has been forgiving you. That's over with. And it took time because it's very traumatic trying to figure out what happened to your life. Dang, you guys, I hope I don't have anything on my face. It's very traumatic trying to figure out, what did you do and how is this affecting us now? Because I kept expecting when the relationship and the marriage was over for me and my ex-husband to become friends like we were and raise our child together. And that was not the case, because just like the lady I told you in the first scenario, although she was a might as well wife at the beginning, right? Her husband ended up coming full circle into falling in love with her. Even though it took over 15 years, he became full circle in love with his wife. And now he has a deep connection, but she doesn't. And that's what happened with me as well. Now, she's still in her marriage, and we'll see, to be continued, what happens from there, because hey, I didn't stay that long. But with my ex-husband, he came full circle and fell in love with me, with his might as well wife, where I fell out of love totally with him. I was never in love with him in the first place, but the love, that brotherly, that bond, that friendship that we had was destroyed. And so I wanted nothing more to do with it because it was so dysfunctional, so unhealthy. It was so destructive, and it was just killing me. Me, the young lady that I came into the relationship, she was just being destroyed. And at some point, you have to choose yourself. If something is not building you up, making you greater, making you stronger, then you have to let it go, or it will kill you. It will. So instead of me and my ex-husband becoming friends again, right, and recognizing we're not equally yoked, this is not good, this is not healthy, we have made a family with our child, we'll forever be connected as family. Let us step back, support one another as parents, and reconnect as friends, and let's go forward and do. Instead of we doing that, I had to deal with the backlash of divorce and a man who's feeling rejected, and now he's feeling the devastation and loss of a wife that he truly was in love with and mentally prepared to stay with for the rest of his life. Okay, so we'll talk about that in another video. We'll talk about the effects of divorce, the truth of it, because it's not pretty, and there's a reason why God doesn't agree with it, you guys. There's a reason why God does not agree with divorce, and there's a reason why it's a covenant, and there's a reason why you truly have to seek God in your marriages for healing, for growth, and you have to stay in it until it comes full circle, and it will. If you talk to any couples that have been married for 30, 40, and 50 years, they will teach you, they will give you gems that will bless you and take care of you and nurture you for the rest of your life. And that's what I would encourage all couples, married persons. I would really encourage you to have a circle of men and women who have been married for like 40 to 60 years. And I really don't care, what culture. You just need to find them. You need to find them, and you can Google them too, because they have groups. And I'm trying to think of this one group that it used to be really popular, and they were just married couples, and they'd have every age group. I mean, every 30, 40, 50 years of longevity. Those people are the truth. They're the ones who are going to give you the real of marriage, and what that looks like, what that feels like, how that really goes. I got to spend the last years of my aunt's life with her, and I learned more in that. I stayed with her for about 8 months. I learned more about her in 8 months than I had my entire life, because in those 8 months she talked to me about her marriage, about falling in and out of love with her husband, and how the beginning wasn't so much about we're so in love. It was more so about we're so in sync. We're on the same page. We have a good thing together. We can live life together. We can get through life together. We can have a family and take care of our children together. That's what it was about. They married because it made sense. And then they grew into this relationship. Now, what I will say is, they were another might as well situation, right? Because my aunt and my uncle had dated for quite a while, okay? And my aunt gave the ultimatum, boom. If you don't like this, if you ain't trying to buy the milk, you know what I mean? You can't have this cow no more. Whatever the little saying is, you're not going to keep getting this milk for free. And so he told her, well, I don't want the cow. And so she walked off and left and got into another relationship. And the thing that kept them, in the same circle was that his best friend happened to work at the school that she worked at. So when she got into her next relationship, the best friend was reporting back like, oh, your girl got a new man. And then the new man had proposed. So then his friend went back like, man, your girl is engaged. And so I don't know, I imagine my uncle got down on his knees and started praying, because for whatever happened, I think the other guy was in the military, I'm not sure, but whatever happened, the other guy and my aunt ended up not working out, and my uncle hurried up, swooped her back up, and married her. Now for me, that would be an indication that we're not meant to be, because what happened the whole year plus I was already dating you exclusively, and it wasn't enough, and you allowed me to leave, right? And then I'm getting into a relationship with someone else because you didn't think that I was what? I'm not sure. But I'll get into another relationship, and then it goes as far as me to get almost married to that person. And now you're like, oh no, oh my gosh, no. Now what happened after that is they got a house, they bought this house, they wanted this house, they got a beautiful home, they went through so much trying to get this house. I remember my aunt telling me, she said they got approved for the house, then they started coming up with all this money they needed. Every time they thought they were going to close, the people said, oh, well, you need this much money. Then you have all these stipulations when you go through the home buying process. So every time they said, well, you can't touch your savings, or you can't touch your credit score, can't. So then they're getting a loan, and finally they got the house, right? Great. So now they're married, they've got their home, they're both teachers, everything's falling into place, but something hasn't changed. Something hasn't changed, because just like that desire, that chemistry, that connection, that push for him to marry her at first wasn't there, but the catalyst was this other man, this challenge. Oh no, let me snatch her back. Oh no, right? Well, now the catalyst is gone. The man is gone. There's nobody else in the way. There's nothing to prompt him or push him to secure my aunt, to want my aunt. There's nothing. He's comfortable. Bow, he's cheated. Right? Well, of course, the first inclination is, how dare you? I'm done. But we just went through hell and high water to get this house. I'm not giving up my house. It took both of us to get this house. Well, I don't want to live in my house. Well, you know what? That's your side of the house, and this is my side of the house. So now they went on for several years in that status. We're just living life and paying bills. They have a beautiful son. We're just taking care of our son. Neither one of us want our son not to have their parent. Neither one of us grew up without our parents. They both came from two-parent homes, so that was a value and a strength for them. We love our families. Neither one of us want to walk away from our home, pay bills by ourselves. No, I don't know. But 10 years went by, 20 years went by. 30 years went by, and these two fell back in love. My aunt said they went from being just cool on each other to being friends to just like, it's whatever, that's my child's father, to being in like with each other, like, okay, maybe you're cool sometimes, to finally falling in love with each other again. And that was a few years before my uncle passed. So it took them 30 years of life to heal and come to the point where they were both at the same place. But it happened though. So those are 2 stories, 3 stories, because I put myself in there as well. Now let me come back. Let's scale it back a little bit, because I'll end up talking about another topic and I have to do another video on that. on this might as well scenario. Might as well spouse. I'm a might as well wife. I'm a might as well husband. Now, I have another story about a gentleman who met a young lady 1 year. Okay, so he met a young lady 1 year, and this young lady was not his cup of tea, but he was in a new place in his life, right? And it was one of those situations like, why not? I can make a friend. She seems reasonable, practical, right? So let me make a connection. Let me exchange information. I don't know anybody. So I'm just going to, see how she's doing. So this young man exchanged information with this other young lady. They got to talking on the phone. The young lady was neutral about him too. Like, yeah, he's cool. He's a really nice guy, whatever. So they just talk like friends. Just nothing. How was your day? How was your day? Cool. What are you doing this weekend? Who cares? You want to come by, watch movies? Just platonic, real platonic friendship, right? As time progressed, month after month, both of them unknowingly have the same mind, spirit, everything. Both of them have the same energy. Like, nope, there's things about you I'm definitely not interested, but you're really super cool. You're super nice. Both of them are thinking and feeling the same thing this whole time. There's no way I'm dating you. There's no way that I'm dating you, but I do like hanging out with you sometimes. It is super cool. You feel kind of like family, right? Now, the funniest thing is both of them are thinking the other person is liking them in that special way. So the female is thinking in her mind like, it's no way I'm ever going to date him, but I know he likes me like that. That's cool. The male is thinking in his mind, it's no way that I'm ever going to date her, but she likes me and that's cool. Wow. All right, more time goes by. 3 months go by. It's the young man's birthday. They celebrate his birthday. He's really surprised, and that piques a little interest, romantic interest in the young man. Wow, she remembered my birthday and even took it a step further and did stuff for me and made sure to spend time with me because my family wasn't able. That sparked romantic interest. Okay, a few weeks after that, the young lady's in trouble. She needed to get some things done. She's running out of help, assistance. She contacts him, boom, say, hey, can you do something amazing? Totally with the energy of non-expectance. It's totally fine if he says no or yes, because she didn't expect that. She's totally in the mindset of, we're just platonic friends. There's nothing. He said, absolutely. Shows up like the knight in shining armor that he is. Boom, sparks romantic interest that fast. Now both of them, it's like these little cinders that are dancing around the fire, and they finally start connecting. You see those little cinders dancing around the fire, dancing around, and then it's turning into a larger fire, right? So now the two of them are starting to see each other more. They want to see each other more. They want to see each other more. Boom. This electricity, this connection is taking place. And now they are totally into each other, all around each other every single day. I mean, every single day. But both of them in their minds are thinking, how is this going to work? This is great, but how is this going to work? The female is thinking like, there's some things that I actually need out of this gentleman for this to really work. There's some things I really need in my situation. I need this man's provision to be a little bit stronger. He's thinking in his mind, boom, there's some things that I need out of this female for this to really work. Right? Both of them, but there's all this chemistry, all this energy. I mean, they're super enjoying each other's time, each other's companionship, each other's energy. It is working. It is flowing. It is flowing. It is flowing. Bow. Life happens. They don't handle it well. They take a break from one another. They come back. I mean, these people are worshiping God together. They go to church together. They are with each other every single day. This is serious. I mean, this is the best relationship that either one of them have had at this point. Okay, now life happens again. Boom. I mean, it's a series of like boom, 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 life-altering circumstances happen back to back, 3 months in a row. Boom. Right? Now they are in two different states, right? Young lady has gone on with her life. She's not looking back. The young man is thinking in his mind like, wow, what just happened? I want this girl. Wow, what just happened? So there's connection, there's phone calls here, there, but nothing really. And then there's, come see me, I want you to see me. You know, she thinks about it, she doesn't. Bow, she comes to see him. She's hurt though because there's mistrust now. She doesn't know. I'm not sure what kind of man you are, what kind of provider you are. Can you be the man for me? Do you want to be the man for me? I want to be the woman for you. Like, all these things are happening. All these things are happening, guys. Well, while she's thinking it over and considering whether or not to take him back and everything, and then she comes back to see him, they decide to move forward in their relationship. All right, bow. During that breakup, the second breakup, he meets a young lady at a restaurant, right? But his heart, soul, mind is with the first young lady, right? So he's still wanting this girl back. So finally they reconnect, the first girl. And he's, come spend Christmas with me. I want you. I want to see you. I miss you. Bow. She wants him. She wants to see him too. She's just like, wow. When they see each other, it is unreal. The chemistry is undeniable. It's undeniable, these two people, right? Now, what has happened though? Bow, they're getting engaged. They're supposed to get married the very next summer. All right, so Christmas went well. They're supposed to get married, right? And 6 months later, right? You still got this other female lingering around that the girl doesn't know anything about, right? And now the hard conversation comes into play. And the young lady that he's engaged to, the young lady asks him different questions that you should ask when you're considering becoming one with another person. Things you need to know for you all to be successful in this union, in this life together. You need to know if you guys are on the same page, on the same wavelength, if you all have a fighting chance. This is the moment where you tell everything truthfully. Just come out with it truthfully. And when those questions were asked, you all, guess what happened? Found out, no, it's not time. They weren't ready, right? Cool. So guess what happened from there? Now they've broken up, and now this young man has decided to move forward with the young lady that he met at the restaurant. Why? Because he's hurting. He's now he's thinking like, wow, I can't believe this. I love this girl. This is the girl I want. This is the girl I desire, but I'm not in the position to be her husband right now. I can't believe this. We just broke up for the third time. This hurts really bad. I hate this. Maybe I need to and he needs a friend. He wants female energy. He wants to get a female perspective outside of his immediate circle. Maybe he's ashamed to even maybe talk about it to his immediate circle. He just wants a penalty-free, someone who has no connection, to just be there for him, console him, right? But she's not the one. She's just available right now, right? So he regroups. Later that year, he connects with the first girl again. What are you doing? How are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. All those beginning conversations, right? Great. They connect. They get back together in seconds. But it's different now, because he's been talking to the other girl. Of course, the first girl knows nothing about the second girl, but she does notice some changes in her guy, right? So now he's not as connected as he used to be. He's not open and transparent. And she's like, why are you not telling me what's going on? She senses and knows there's something that needs to be said, but it's not being said. And she's like, what is it? Just come on out, tell me, help me understand your thought, where your mind is at, what's going on. And she's thinking he's confiding in his mother, his sister, like his immediate family circle, not knowing there's this outside female that he's been confiding with, and she's twisting their life and their truth because she wants him, right? She's fighting for this guy, right? And now they've become engaged twice. Now they're on their second engagement. And they're getting ready to get married. This time is, yes, we're ready. I'm getting married. We're getting married. We're going to do this thing called life together. This is perfect. This is great. And no, it's not. Because now he doesn't have the same heart that he had before. Before, he was feeling prepared, confident. We were going to do this, right? We're going to do this. We're going to get married. We're going to have this relationship. It's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. But now this outsider female is put in his mind, well, no, this lady needs all these things out of you. You need time for yourself. You need to get yourself together. If she really loves you and want to be with you, she'll wait until you get XYZ accomplished. And when he presents that to the first girl, his fiance, she's like, what are you talking about? This is not the man that she's known for 3+ years, right? It's like, what? Who is this? Like, who's saying this stuff to you? And he never comes out with it because, of course, there's not supposed to be another woman, right? Of course, he never would say, well, I made friends with XYZ girl and she just, we've been talking. I was really devastated when we broke up the last time. And this, no, of course he's never going to say that. But you know what he did say? When they first reconnected, right, and got back engaged, before they were intimate, he said, have you been with anybody else? He's never asked that question in 3 years. And she knew in her spirit right away that meant he had. And you could feel that energy. Isn't that deep? How your body and your spirit, God will tell you, hey, you might need to look at that. You might need to open that door and talk about that. But fear will rush in. Denial will rush in. All these things will rush in. I don't want to mess up anything, right? All these crazy little things will come in that will silence you. Keep your mouth closed. Where conversations needed to be had so that you all can heal and grow and learn and have that open space to speak your truths. So you all can have a true connection and understanding and level up and grow so you can move those outside interferences on out the door, right? But the female, the fiance, she failed to communicate and speak and stop things and say, hey, why did you ask me that? You've never asked me that. In my spirit right now, I sense that you've been with someone else. What's been going on over this time that we've been apart? Have you made a connection with someone? Do you have someone that you love or a special friend? This is where maturity comes in. It's not about being upset. It's life. Because if you all have broken up a whole engagement and decided we're not ready and maybe we don't need to be together, it's very natural for people to move on in relationships with other people on whatever capacity because they were ready to love someone. They were expected to be in a thriving companionship that didn't happen, right? So they still have this connectivity, this desire of connectivity, right? It's still there. It doesn't just die because you've decided, wow, we're not ready. It doesn't work like that. So that conversation was not had, right? And then from there, the marriage counseling didn't happen. From there, the wedding didn't happen, right? And then from there, the relationship didn't happen. But what did happen is, after that explosion, after those explosive fireworks went off, right? All the hurt, all the devastation, everybody, all that mess like that, the gentleman reconnected with the Midaswell wife. And after 8 long years, he married her. 8 years later, you all, he married her. Now, what's quite peculiar about the entire thing is that even though this young lady may feel that she won, she finally got her day in the sun, she finally got her engagement, she got her man, right? 8 years later, I'm laughing, but I'm not. But anyway, 8 years later, you all, she got her man, right? And we're going to leave it right there. The Midaswell wives and Midaswell husbands, you know that you are. You know that you were a good decision. You were the only option at the time. Sometimes men marry women because they're saving face. How much of a duck can I look for this girl? If I go back to her and marry her, even though I love her, to the end of time, even though just to think of her makes my heart skip a beat, like I get so elated at the thought of her touch, of her smell, it just knowing I'm on the way to the house. Like everything about this woman activates makes me live. It gives me motivation, inspiration, innovation. This woman is my everything. But how much of a fool am I going to look like in the eyes of my parents and my friends? And after you've talked so much crap and your dad and your mom's like, leave her alone, la 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 la. Everybody said everything they can say. Even the lady that you've married, right? You've confided in her. You were so hurt and broken and so devastated. Why did she do this to me? And I can't believe this. And she's like, well, you deserve better than that. And you don't go back. I mean, right? All that's went down. So it's like, how could I ever go back to her again? Just like that. That's how you could go back to her. Just like that. You obey. You can never ever lose obeying your heart. Never. See, something inside of Michael Jordan told him that he could fly. When the coaches, his dad, his friends, his neighbors, everybody else, they may have been out there hooping, you know what I mean? Hitting them jump shots, layups, right? They could have been, knocking them threes down, all of that, right? But something inside of Michael Jordan said, you can fly, baby. Matter of fact, go on and take off. Just go head on, climb. Just trust these protons and these neurons, these atoms. We're going to get you there. Yeah, the angels that were created and birthed and designed to fulfill your mission for your life of success, fulfillment, and victory. We got you, baby. Don't even worry about it. We're going to silence the crowd. You can't hear a speaker no English, right? Something was roaring inside of Michael Jordan so strong. That baby just got the flying through the sky. And it's so real that he have people lined and wrapped around buildings to buy J's that ain't been out in 23 years. This man got grown men making deals with security and Foot Locker employees to put these boxes of shoes on the corner and the back door. This man got babies, stabbing, shooting. I mean, come on. Because he obeyed his heart and went, fearlessly. You can never lose. Do you know how many people probably told Michael Jordan, boy, get your butt, are you serious? You crazy or something? You trying to break your neck? Do you know how many, his mother may have even said to him, baby, please, would you stop trying to do XYZ? Are you going to give your mama a heart attack? You don't know. You know how many people may have laughed at Michael Jordan when he said, I'm going to be the greatest of all times. I'm going to be, and especially during the times when he grew up, I don't know. He could have been getting called all kind of racial slurs. I have no idea what Michael Jordan went with, but the probabilities of what I'm saying are extremely high. Everyone who has met grand measure of success, and we quantify this in dollars. So if you have reached millions consecutively for decades, you are successful. If you have a consistent, growing fan base that is generational, that means that they mama, they grandmama, they great grandmama, everybody love you and know who you are, right? You are successful, right? You have a story, and it is not beautiful. It is not grandiose. Your story is of severe and rigorous challenge and overcoming, and it is mostly mental. It is pure psychology, your psychological strength that allowed you to persevere through the perils of hell, through the fire, right? To come out on the other side to success, to live your purpose and be the proof of God's word. Every single star is the proof, the manifestation that your will, when it's focused and aligned with the word, your thoughts and your word and your actions must be aligned. They are the Holy Trinity. Thoughts, words, actions, the Holy Trinity. It must be aligned, in agreement, congruent. That is when you will produce the purpose. That is when you will produce the greatest of yourself. That is when you will live the plan. Your plan will thrive. Right? Right, guys? So it doesn't change in any capacity or realm of your life. In a relationship, this life we live is not to be perfect. It is to be experienced. It is for growth. Everything that went wrong yesterday, you're supposed to capitalize today. Everything that went good, you're supposed to maximize today. Okay, this went good yesterday, I'm going to do more of that today. This went bad yesterday, I'm gonna get a whiff of that and put this spin on there, and I'm gonna try this today. You should be maximizing and trying new things every single day, new connections, and you should be keep going, progressing, going forward. In your relationship, right, you have to look at it the same way. Bow. Me and this gentleman that I'm telling, because I'm telling y'all about me again. Me and this gentleman I just told you all about. Bow. We had like minds, like hearts, like spirits, like intentions, every step of the way. We had comedic energy, chemistry, every step of the way. Every time we came back to each other, boom, cinders danced, ignited. Every step of the way, we grew and we increased. We grew and we increased. Had there not been other persons in the equation, we would have reconnected, married, and grown and increased and lived our best lives, right? But none of us are exempt from making bad decisions. Neither one of us. I've made bad decisions. He's made bad decisions. Both of us have been might as well spouses. The bottom line is, it's happening. It happens. Most of us are products of might as well marriages. It is what it is. Now you sound like, okay, wow, you just told us all that stuff. What are we supposed to do with it? If I'm in a might as well marriage, what should I do now? Well, it depends on what point you're at in this might as well marriage. My goal with this channel is to get over 1,000 views. 1,000 subscribers, over 4,000 views, and 152 videos by June 21st. Because for the summer, I really want to open up my platform so that I can have interactive videos, live videos, and streams, so that you all can ask these questions that you need. Because I don't have enough time in a day to talk to everyone and to answer your questions. I don't have enough time to take everybody's coaching calls. I don't have enough time. But together in a community on the live stream, I can reach a lot of you all. You can put your questions there, and I'm going to answer your phone calls. I'm literally going to allow you to call in. I will let you ask me whatever you need to ask me, because a lot of you all have the same questions. And then that way we can connect, we can vibe, you can ask your questions, I can answer you, you can put them there in the live chat. Whatever I didn't get to, I can come back to it and answer it in the live chat, and we can grow as a community. Because knowledge is truly powerful, right? But this is not a one-way conversation, right? You need to be able to interact with me. You need to be able to communicate. And this is the best way that I know to reach more of you all, because this is huge in the community. This is huge in the Black community. This is huge in every community. There's an extreme disconnect that's going on. In an age where we have so much options, so many options to connect, it is highly dysfunctional and highly disconnected. And things have got to change, okay, guys? So what I'm saying is this. If you're in a situation right now where you realize, or you're just tired of being in the might as well marriage, right? And I'm talking about the paperwork. Yes, that solidifies your marriage. But some of you all have dated people for like 25 years. This has been the only person that you have been involved with for 25 years. You're not the legal spouse, but this is who you've been with for 25 years, and now they're finally ready to marry you, right? And now you're not. You've gotten your life together. You were waiting and hopeful for that moment like years and years, and you're finally at the place and space in your life. No, I don't want to anymore. Actually, I don't. And they're at that place like, might as well, this is a good decision. And if I sit up here in a minute, somebody's going to come along and snatch her up, and I'm going to be by myself because I'm not such a good catch after all. That's what a lot of you all are in relationships with. You were always a great catch, but you were just not your best self. And this person came across you when you weren't your best self, and you really admired and were into them, right? This off-balance situation again. And so for whatever reason, y'all just kept, going and kept going and kept going. Now, boom. Now you're at your highest self. Matter of fact, you're at your best self, right? Because you've grown, you've learned so much. Your energy it's all connected. Your investment in your education and your training, all the seeds that you have planted are beginning to bloom. It's beginning to grow. It's nourishing you, strengthening you, increasing you. Bow, you are this amazing career person. You got it going on. You're feeling great again. Your energy level's high. It's just beautiful. You're glowing. Everything is wonderful and budding about you. You're feeling wonderful in your own skin, right? It's just you're good. Life's good. Now this person's like, yes, I'm ready to marry you. And you're like, hold up. I need a prenup. I don't want to. Actually, I'm worried. You want to marry me now? Why? For what? I don't think so. We're good. This is cool. I like this, matter of fact. So, what I have to say about that is cut your losses. Yeah. I would say to people that are might as well spouses, if you have not come full circle by now, like you guys been together for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, you have children together. That's the only part about it that I don't like, okay, is when the children are involved. Because any point, divorce is devastating. It doesn't matter. Divorce, breaking up, moving on, whatever you want to call it, is devastating because even when they're 25 years, I feel like it's worse when they're in their 20s and you divorce, because it completely destroys their minds on marriage and their stability. It makes them feel like they can't trust anything, have faith in anything. And if they are in a long-term relationship where they were moving towards marriage, now they're totally disheveled. They don't want to go forward with marriage. They're not gonna do it. Like, no, it's just a complete nightmare. And then boom, here you go in this 5, 6, 7 year marriage with this disheveled person, shattered memory of a person because their parents got a divorce when they're 30 years old. So if you are a might as well spouse and you have children, I would start thinking of my spouse as my family and stop thinking of them like this wife or this husband that you never got. Okay? And I would start thinking of them as my family and realizing that this is my family and we're bigger. This is beyond these fantasies or whatever it is. Like, we have these children, we're going to have grandchildren, and we're just going to have to make this sacrifice to keep this bond and this foundation. And we're going to have to teach our children to make better decisions than we have by helping them in their life decision making and praying for them and just sharing with them different whether it's different like workshops on relationships, seminars, books, however you can get across to them, being transparent with them. And that's not putting each other down, it's more so teaching them to get to know themselves, helping them through assessments or coaching, like people like myself who do positive psychology that help you get to know yourself, learn who you are, accept yourself, how to find people that are a match for you, things to look for. Like, that's what I would encourage you to do. If you're in a marriage and you have children, I would say stay right there unless you guys are abusing each other. If you're, mollywopping each other in the domestic violence situation, you're verbally abusing each other, all that type of stuff like that, then I say break up immediately, forget it, because the kids are already messed up now. And get some counseling right away and stay in counseling for years. Don't even get out of counseling. I don't care. Don't even get out of counseling. Stay in counseling for years. If you can manage to do some type of couples therapy for spouses who have been abusive to each other, you should do that together. Then you should do counseling for co-parenting and so you can learn how to work together for your children. And then you should do family therapy where all of you all talk. And then you should let the children have therapy by themselves where they can talk about their feelings and what happened. And then you should do individual therapy. So that means you go and the spouse goes and y'all talk about. All of those sessions need to happen. So I think I just listed 5 sessions there. So you need individual therapy, you need couples therapy for persons who have been a part of domestic violence. Then you need couples therapy for co-parenting skills so you can learn how to work together for the children. Then you need group family therapy so that you all can all talk as a unit, the children and the parents. Then the children need to go talk by themselves about how they feel whenever they understand about how their life has changed and blah blah blah. And then you all and then you all need to go individually. So that's 5 different therapies, or 6 actually. Okay. And I would encourage spiritual therapy too if you're into that. So if you all are in a faith-based relationship where you're Muslim, you're Christian, whatever your faith is, you're Jews, Jewish, you what have you, whatever it is, I would encourage you all to do faith-based counseling as well. Okay, so those are my suggestions for persons in that situation. If you all are abusing each other, you're comfortable with calling each other outside of your names, that's your regular way of describing each other. When you vent and talk about each other to other people, you all are referring to each other outside, like MFs, Bs, HO, whores, all that type of stuff. Like, if you guys are comfortable and that is your go-to, that just flies out your mouth with no issue, your spouse is every kind of bitch there, all that type of stuff like that, that means there's a no-go here. So don't take any of my advice. If you're at a high level of dysfunctionality in your relationship, exit stage left. There's nothing to salvage. There's nothing, that's finished. You put your hands on each other, or you want to put your hands on each other, if you're regularly envisioning blowing this person's brains out, strangling them, like any of that type of stuff like that, if the person's giving you diseases, any of that type of stuff, you guys are cheating on each other at alarming rates, all that type of stuff like that, exit stage left. There's no salvation there. Forget it. That's done. I'm talking to people that have been in a marriage that's been at a high level of dissatisfaction because this person was just a good choice. Okay? They're like, on paper, it's a good decision. You know what I mean? Like, you married them because your friends are like, why you don't like this man loves you, or this woman loves you, she looks great, she's clean, she comes from a good family, I mean, she'll have good kids for you, she'll never cheat on you, she knows how to cook, clean, or order good food, like, she's a great hostess, she comes from a good background, she went to college, she's got a degree, all that type of stuff like that, right? And this right here reminds me of Jill Scott, that song, when the person is about marriage and she's like, you're getting married, right? I'll think of the name of that song in a little bit, or I'll link it in the comments. But and he's in that song, she says she does everything that you like. She makes you pie, she does, and still it's not enough. This woman's all these beautiful things, but I am the last and first thing that is on your mind. Because she was not the one. Okay, enough about that. So everybody's done persuaded you to get with this person. You're single too long. You've already been single too long. La la la, blah blah blah. So you married them. Bow. Y'all are married. Y'all have the house, the condo, whatever you've got. Y'all have the children. Time has gone by. It's 10 years later. Who cares? It's 5 years. And you like them, you love them, why wouldn't you? Y'all have a good, decent life together. It's just that she's not the one. She's not the one that turns you on. He's not the one that lights your fire. Right? But you love them. Why wouldn't you? They're great. They're clean. They work, they provide, what's there not to love, right? So persons that are in that situation, if you have children, I encourage you to stay. I encourage you to seek God on a spiritual realm, to ask God to help you connect with the reasons why you feel the way you feel about this person, because you've established a covenant. Y'all are family now. You have these children. So You have a bond, right? So you need to just explore the reasons why did this person not do it for me. And whatever that is, whether that means you're still in love, with the one that does do it for you, then you need to ask God to break that soul tie. You need to ask God to deliver you from that connection, because you need to be able to go wholeheartedly into this marriage and this commitment that you've made. And that's just real. These children need you to. It's bigger than you now. The children, they need you to make it. They need you all to figure it out, to persevere, and they need the stability of their parents working it out. They need to see love grow and mature. They need to see and experience the covenant of marriage. They need that. Okay? So it's bigger than you. Your children need you all to make it. So you're going to have to. You're going to have to make it. And that's that. Hold on 1 second. I want to see if you guys are still with me or if I'm talking to myself.
Speech on. Stop recording video. Button. Face near left edge.
Let me see.
Centered.
Okay, I'm
centered. Face near left edge. Speech off.
Great. This is awesome. So that's my advice. If you are in a might as well situation, you need to talk to God. You need to get to know yourself now. Not the person of 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I don't even think 2 years ago, because a lot has happened in the last, year and a half. So I would say sit yourself down, either get a coach like me, someone that you feel comfortable with. You can look up, on Psychology Today if you want to find like a random counselor, psychologist, whatever you feel comfortable with, coach, positive psychologist, like whatever capacity, if you're looking for spiritual advising. But sit down, do the work, get to know yourself, admit everything. You can't get past it if you hold it in. Don't hold anything. Let it all out. I hate my life. I hate the decisions I've made. Like, straight up say it. No blockages. And say it like you mean it. Don't dolly it up. Well, I don't hate my life. It's not right to hate my life. Don't do that to yourself. Say it however you feel it. If you can't stand it, you are so furious and angry that you let it out. Let it rip just as it is. I'm unfulfilled. I'm not happy. I am so upset. I am so disgusted. I can't believe this. I feel betrayed. I shouldn't have listened to this person. I shouldn't have. All that stuff, let it rip. Just let it all out. Say it so we can move on. Because regardless of all those feelings, it has no value. All it's doing is weighting you down. But guess what? Reality doesn't change. But once you let all that out, it makes you lighter. And if you need to cry, if you need to scream, and maybe you need to go out. I used to power walk a lot. And I would just let it all out. By the time I finished power walking and doing 4 miles, I feel like a whole nother woman. And all that stuff that I was, thinking about, and that was such a problem and a pain, it didn't even matter. And I had cleared my mind so much that I moved on to the next and embraced better things for myself. Right? I need to let go all the dead weight, all the insignificant, right? That's what you have to do. You have to let it rip. Whatever the stuff is, whatever it is festering inside of you, just let it out, let it out, let it out, let it out. Don't even think twice. Okay, then after you let it out, then come back and say, okay, look yourself in the face and say, I love you. It doesn't even matter. You're still worthy. You're still blessed. We're having a great life. That's it. That's all that matters. I'm having a great life. That's it. My children are blessed. I'm in an amazing marriage. My career is blessed. My entrepreneur endeavors are blessed. Whatever it is, claim and affirm your heart's desire. Then ask God to do everything that you're affirming. Say, I need help with this. It's too hard for me. I want my marriage to work. I want my children to be blessed and increased. I want my children to capitalize off of my personal failures. Say it and mean it. And then watch the skills, the strength, the understanding, the mindset, the psychology that you need to have, the understanding, it will manifest. When you say, God, I need your help with this, please break all soul ties that I've ever created, knowingly and unknowingly, with whomever, with things and human beings and spirits, whatever this is, hallelujah, break it off of me now. I don't want it. It doesn't serve me and my life goals. My children and my family, my husband and my wife are valuable above all. They are my gifts that you have given to me to prosper me. They are my blessings. I want to be, need to be, desire to be a blessing. Lift these soul ties, break these mindsets, these conditions off of me. Free me. I am free, and receive it. Don't think it's going to take forever. Don't put all those chains on your mind. Well, you know it's not going to happen immediately. Why not? Why can't it happen immediately? Expect the change. Pursue the change. Desire and need and want the change. Watch it manifest. I believe somebody's been praying for me to do this video. I expected to do this video in about no more than 30 minutes. I actually was going to do 5 signs that you are a might as well wife, and I was getting off of here. Here it is. It's probably 2 hours later. I'm still talking because somebody's praying for these answers. I believe that prayers connect. Somebody needs to know these things. And here I am 2 hours later. Maybe this will be my first viral video. Praise God, I receive and accept that. But we have to do the work of knowing ourselves, understanding and looking at our reality, understanding and accepting our purpose and our plan, so that we can ask God for the mental clarity, for the skill set, for the encouragement, for the confirmation, for the affirmations. We need all of those things to come into alignment so that our thoughts, words, and our actions can produce the desires of our hearts. Because at this point, when you have bonded and created this family, your thoughts, words, and actions should be all about keeping your family together. So if you are in a might as well relationship, marriage, and it is a positive one, then praise God for it, because you have a family and you all are healthy and strong together. So enjoy it. Now, I know so many people that have thoroughly gotten divorced after 20 plus. It's popular, especially here in Atlanta. Let me just say this, because I was going to do a video, and I'm going to do a video about it. So be looking out for my video on, if you come to Georgia married, things you may want to consider. I might do that video right after this one. Things you need to consider coming to Georgia as a married couple. Okay? Because it is quite popular here for people to come here thinking that they're going to level up as a couple, only to level up and out of marriage after 15 and 20 and 30 years of marriage. And it is not wise. You all, it's not wise. If you all have been successfully married, and successfully married means you have amassed a wealth. Doesn't mean you're balling out of control, but it does mean you've been able to purchase homes, vehicles, you have had consistent credit scores, you've maintained savings, retirement, you have, active checking credit cards that you've had for years. You're able to purchase another home. You may have investment properties, like your cash, your liquid assets well exceed your debt. You really don't have debt. You have functional debt, which is like electric bill, your utilities, your mortgage. You don't have bills because your investment property pays all of that, and you still are able to put in savings and emergency funds. I mean, if you're a person that pretty much functions in cash, and you use a credit card because you get points and you pay your credit card off like on Friday, every Friday, or you put money on your credit card, like you have a $10,000 credit limit, but you may have a positive $5,000 balance on there because you're going to charge $5,000 and you don't even want it to hit the $10,000 credit limit. Like if you do stuff like that, like you have an 850 credit score and you keep up with the statement cycle versus the due date cycle versus the balance cycle, so to have your whole bill paid before the statement cycles, so that it can constantly report to the credit bureaus that you are at a 20% utilization, so you can never drop under 850. See, I know people that live like that, you all. When you can do all those types of things, do not get divorced. Not wise. And you are contributing to the further dysfunction and complicated mess out here called single lives. Because these newly divorced persons are out here playing around with single people because they have absolutely no intention or desire to recommit themselves to anyone else, because they're running around scared, for one, and they're running around happily free because they haven't been single in 20 years, plus they're damaged because they're hurt, right? Because they can't believe this person walked off with half of everything, or not. They could just be devastated because the person just left and went on with whoever else. And then they coming back, but now everything's destroyed. So no. It's not wise. It's not wise. You're not going to walk off from that marriage and walk into this wonderful, glorious. You're not. You know what you're all going to do? Come out here and get some diseases. Probably make some babies. Yeah. Run through your savings. Start messing up that beautiful credit score. Your kids are damaged. They lose respect for you. They lose respect for everything. Because now they can't trust anything. Okay? It's just a spiraling cycle of death and destruction. It's not wise. It's not the move to make. I don't care what social media makes it look like. And stop. You know what I would encourage you to do too? If you are in a might as well marriage, a might as well situation, and you've been strongly considering getting divorced, you actually got divorced last year during the situation, and all of that mess like that, if I were you, I would disconnect from social media. I would. Or you need to reconfigure your social media where it's only streaming and following people that are in your same situation. So you need to be looking at people that are married, that are trying to stay married. That means they're promoting positivity when it comes to marriage. They're providing resources and sharing resources on increasing and strengthening your heart, soul, and mind when it comes to marriage and family. And they're really open and transparent about their own struggles and things they've overcome. If that's what you should be following. So when you get on Instagram, when you get on Facebook, when you get on Snapchat, when you get on TikTok, when you get on YouTube, your whole stream and all your suggestions are just a continuous circle and cycle of feed that is nourishing you on staying married, increasing your marriage, loving your marriage, and thankfulness, gratitude, appreciation for your marriage, your life, your family. You should be having all these clean with me, get ready with me, date night, husband do this, wife do that, fitness. All your stuff should be conducive to increasing and growing in marriage. And you should have encouraging stories about you should follow people that say, we almost got a divorce, but guess what happened? You should have so many stories like that. When we thought we were going to get a divorce, but what kept us together? Bow. Stuff like that. Things to do when you're on the verge of a breakup. Now, that should be your stuff. When you're in might as well marriages, relationships, even with these jobs and stuff. But you already been there for 15 years. Don't walk off from your job and you've been there for 15 years and you only got to give them another 5 years to get your retirement. No. I don't care what nobody say. Live your dreams. Jump. Go. Go. Jump. You better shut up. What you do? You live your dreams on your off days. Yeah. You stick in there, finish your 5 years. That ain't nothing. And you live your dreams on your off days. Then when your 5 years is up, now you go full throttle, wholeheartedly. Now you do your thing. All day, all night. Cool. But now if you've been there for 5 years, that's a different subject. Yeah, then you walk off. Sure. But walk off with a plan. Please don't be walking off and then figuring it out. No. Have a plan. Get you some advisors, mentors, have a concrete plan, budget. Everything should be flowing. So when you walk off, you're walking off and into the plan. And don't let it go any other way. Walk off from that mess into the plan if you only been at your job for 5 years. And if you have adequate savings and everything else lines up. So that's why you need to sign up for coaching. But the bottom line is you need to feed on what strengthens you for the long term. Do not be foolish and surround yourself around fools. Nourish yourself with nutrients. It's like you hungry but steadily popping Jolly Ranchers. Do you guys know that not even Jolly Ranchers are made out of what it used to be made out of? Do you know that Jolly Ranchers are nothing more than chemically flavored slime, residue and remains of animals? It's like drippings after they've it's like a grinding, what is it called? It's like they puree the remains of these animals and it turns into a gelatin that they use in all kinds of foods that we're eating and consuming every single day because it works as a preservative and a thickening agent. So as long as you can get the feel and the smell of something, you'll eat it and continue to eat it and consume it. So as long as it smells like a green apple Jolly Rancher, you keep popping them all day. As long as it gives you that little sugar rush and it smells like green apple, watermelon, cherry Jolly Rancher and looks like it is clear in the little pack and it's, you just keep popping it all day. And then wondering why don't nothing in your life make any sense. Wondering why you get on everybody's nerves or they get on yours or both. Wondering why you're not getting a promotion, you can't seem to get good sleep at night, wondering why you're lacking in the bedroom, you have no ambition, you can't stand anything, you don't know how to celebrate others' achievements, your whole news feed, all your text messages are crazy, barbaric, you know, you got road rage, or you're just impotent. You're impotent on everything. You have low energy. You try to use introversion as an excuse. No, you have a diet consisting of low nutrients. You're almost at zero. If I was to evaluate the majority of you all's so-called daily diets, it will be alarming. It will be alarming. Once I broke down to you each and every single thing that you're eating and what it really is, I am the best at what I do. I am the absolute best at what I do for a living. I am living my purpose. I am a medical practitioner and I am the absolute best. I am Choctaw Nation, a medicine woman. I was born for what I do. I am the best. And what I'm telling you all is that living in a place and at a place of low nutrient value. So I've talked to you about this Jolly Rancher. So you thinking that you're feeding yourself something that's getting you by and that's helping you. Oh, I need energy. I'm just going to eat this Jolly Rancher to get me through, right? And you didn't put anything in your body but death and destruction. So now your body has to work even harder because you just dumped toxins in it, and it needs a certain amount of nutrients to even pass the toxins. To even get the toxins out your body needs a certain amount of energy and nutrients even to do that. So what I'm saying to you all is, you can't expect your life to produce what you do not put in it. If all your media, all your television shows, all your radio, all your feed, your social media, all your conversations and relationships, everybody around you is completely opposite of your goals, you will have to remove yourself from that environment, or you will become a product of your environment, or you will become so depressed and disturbed that you will either commit suicide, or you will become impotent in your own reality, where you have this constant feeling of what's the point, because nobody around you reproduces anything that you want, and you'll always be wondering, why do I feel and want something, and everybody I know, they say the same thing and they don't have it and they don't want it. You watch all these TV shows of pure filth that add nothing but devastation and trauma to your life and to your mind and to your spirit. Just digressive filth, right? And then you're like, well, what's the point? That's all you got. Because that's all you nourish, you feed on. So you have to change and separate yourself and not be afraid to start over, recreate your circle, claim your energy, claim your beliefs, and mount up with wings as eagles. And know that God's got more for you, that the universe will yield and provide more for you, because it has to. Because God's word will never return void, and He is the author of all. He is in control of everything. So, let me see if I'm still with you guys.